100K. He's back. All right, we're racing this guy now. He's back. Oh, how did he tune his thing, bro? So, in a situation where the markets are extremely oversold, everybody is scared. What do you want to do in a situation like this? You want to make sure that you go shopping. You buy as much as you can with the liquidity you have available. That's what you do in a situation like this. Now, current market conditions, everybody is extremely scared. You need to make sure that you identify the winners of the next bull run, the winners of the next cycle of where everything is going to be outperforming, everything is going to be going crazy, everybody is going to be euphoric. Before all of this happens, you want to make sure you bet on the best horses. That's exactly what you want to do. But how do you do so? How do you identify the projects? How do you identify the tokens that are still developing very well in these market conditions? People that consistently post on Twitter, where you consistently see the devs are coming up with new updates, regardless of the market conditions. Things where you really see there's a real world cash flow behind it. There's some actual things happening on the back end. That's the stuff you want to be investing in. Now, at the same time, what always works best in crypto is onboarding Web 2 users to Web 3. How does this work? Phantom is the best possible example of doing so. Phantom was a very, very popular and very well used app from the App Store, millions and millions of downloads. And if you look at what they were doing is they were literally on-ramping people from Web 2 to Web 3. You download the app, you can literally buy Solana, with your credit card. How crazy is that? You just buy it with your credit card and you're on board from Web 2 to Web 3. That's exactly what helps crypto to grow. Because in crypto right now, there's a limited number of people. If you can target people outside of crypto, amazing, right? And that's what you want to be doing in terms of when you're analyzing projects, when you're doing the research for certain projects. This is exactly what you want to be focusing on. Projects that do this, on-ramp Web 2 to Web 3. Now, at the same time, Phantom itself, okay, they might do an airdrop if you use the app, all this kind of stuff. That might happen, but we don't want to speculate on that. There is one ecosystem that does this even better than Phantom and has much more upside potential in terms of users and in terms of overall adoption. What is this one thing that I'm talking about? It is Abstract, the Abstract Layer 2 chain. Absolutely insane potential. If you knew, I'm not going to leak everything, but if you knew what streamers are going to be supporting this, you'd be going absolutely crazy. You'd be buying everything you can put your hands on in the Abstract ecosystem. Obviously, Abstract itself is a huge platform that allows people to onboard from Web 2 to Web 3, people to watch streams, people to engage, people to just do all kinds of things. It's a super app, basically. It's an entire ecosystem, right? And that's what Abstract allows you to do. Obviously, you can also trade meme coins on it and do all these kind of stuff. But if you think about it, how can you benefit the best from the Abstract ecosystem? Have multiple wallets, farm this ecosystem, either automatically farm it via doing transactions, via holding different kinds of meme tokens. All these kinds of things are things that are going to be very helpful for you when you go into the direction of finding the right tokens when it comes to Abstract and using the ecosystem in the right way. But this itself isn't enough. You want to make sure that when you do stuff on Abstract, you actually look into the tokens. Who is behind these tokens? How much were these tokens bundled? What narratives are behind these tokens? Penguins, for example, are a very big meta. Like obviously Node is the number one, App Store, it's a pudgy penguin as well. You need to understand that everything needs to align with the overall thesis of the ecosystem. Who uses Abstract? People who are holding pudgy penguins, they love Abstract, right? So you want to be going into tokens that, present this sort of thing. You want to be looking into tokens that actually align with the overall vision. For example, when it comes to different ecosystems, take a look at Base, take a look at Solana, take a look at Avalanche, right? All these chains, what were they doing? Base, for example, they had Breath as the number one token, highest market cap. Toshi was a top performer as well, but obviously Breath ended up exceeding them because they had insane supply control, right? Now, people that identified Breath early as the winner of the Base ecosystem that aligns with the vision of the base degens, people who identified that bread is a winner, they made tens of millions. I know at least 5 people that made 10 million on bread or more, right? That's exactly what you want to be focusing on. Now, Landwolf on Solana, same thing, or Bonk on Solana. Like Bonk was is the highest market cap token on Solana, right? It's outperformed everything. And we're not talking about the Trump token now because this is a special thing, right? This is something different. But all these kinds of tokens, right? If you identify the winner in an ecosystem and the ecosystem performs well, like a Base or Solana did, you are going to win, right? Now, we are assuming that lots of streamers are going to come to Abstract. Lots of normies, lots of people from Web 2 are going to be onboarded to the Abstract ecosystem. As a result of that, if you identify the top 3 tokens in this ecosystem and you invest in them, let's say the top 1, Newt, you invest majority of it. And by the way, when I'm talking about investing, I'm never going to give you financial advice. Everything you hear here is just my personal analysis, my personal thoughts, right? But Newt, for example, right now it's a top token. If you invest a part of that in the top token and a little bit in the second and a little bit in the third token, then you're not running the risk like with Brett and Toshi. People thought initially that Toshi was going to be the top performer of Base, which eventually it wasn't because Brett overtook it by a lot, right? So you want to make sure you disperse your risk, you manage your risk correctly. So let's say 50% into the top token, then 25-25, something like this into the top 2 and top 3 tokens. That's the way you want to structure it, because one of them might be the number 1 token in the ecosystem and outperform everything else. That's the way you want to be placing your bets, because you just need one runner to actually perform well. Now, what does this bring me to? This brings me into the direction of asymmetrical upside potential. Asymmetrical upside potential, all it means is that your risk is limited to the downside. All you can lose is the money you actually put in. What the fuck is this? What the fuck actually is this? But it's been crazy loud, whatever. Crazy stuff. So, all the money that you can possibly lose is the money you put in, right? When it comes to a crypto token. All that could potentially happen is it goes to 0. But this is very unlikely to happen, right? But if it goes to 0, all right, fuck it. Let's say you put in 100K, he's back. All right, we're racing this guy now. Come on. In any way, okay, we're not gonna race the guy, we're gonna talk about crypto. Now, the maximum you can lose is 100% of your input, right? If you lose 100%, fine, fuck it. Not that bad. He's back! Bro, how did he tune his thing, bro? It's tuned like fuck. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but this engine is proper fucked. This engine is not a normal engine. Alright, you want some proper race, hey? Anyway, so you lose your input, but the upside is you can literally 100x it. Let's say you put in 100K. If you 100x this thing, you make literally 10 million. 100x on 100K. You lose 100K, painful, right? Lost 100K, fuck it, right? Very likely you're not gonna lose everything. It's gonna go minus 70%, maybe minus 90%. You're still gonna have something, right? But if the thesis plays out, the thesis that we placed, the asymmetrical bet that we placed, if it does play out, we end up making a lot of money. So you want to make a couple strategic bets like this. For example, not today, buddy. You want to be placing a couple strategic bets like this, and then your chances of actually succeeding are pretty high, right? So, whatever you do, make sure to identify the winner in an ecosystem. Abstract ecosystem has insane upside potential. Identify a couple of winners in this ecosystem, do your own research on it, and success is going to be very, very likely in this scenario over the next couple of months. And I don't view Abstract as something that is necessarily going to play out over the next 6 months. It can take a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years even, right? Because good ecosystems, especially if you're putting bets with size, let's say you put in 100K, 200K, in this case, like the way I'm doing it, right? In this case, it might take a while for the thesis to play out, and it's going to be a slow grind up. But at a certain point, it's going to happen and you're going to hit the target. Therefore, all of these kinds of pieces of analysis with some of the top traders on Abstract, some of the top performers across multiple chains, some very, very well-educated people in the space, whales with multiple 8-figure portfolios are in my community. right now. The link to my community is in my bio. Make sure to click it, check it out. It's for now completely free to join. I'm gonna make a paid group at a certain point. Not yet. For now, I'm keeping it free and open. So make sure to join the community. There's gonna be insane stuff going on there. Giving away free money, giving away just insane advice when it comes to trading, providing multiple 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 X's in terms of calls, in terms of trading in our community. There is no reason for you not to join it. Click the link in the bio, join it now, and I'm gonna see you in there.